Hi besties. Today we did some Jason Voorhees inspired makeup. I got this shirt recently. Torrid has put out their Halloween collection. I'm plus size, so I shop at Torrid. And this is the shirt. It's a Jason shirt. And something about the colors just made me want to do my makeup like based on these colors. So that's what I did today. This is the look that I came up with. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jan. I use she, her pronouns, and I only do it for the girls, the gays, and the theys. And I have poorly applied black nail polish on because of who I am as a person. While you're here, besties, please check out the links in my link tree. I have several links to support the humanitarian crises happening in Tigray, Ethiopia, Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan, as well as Haiti. Also some immigration resources, as well as some Palestinian families that I'm trying to raise money for, linked in my bio as well. So if you can't donate, please share this video. If you are new here, I would love to have you as a subscriber. Please like, comment, share. Subscribe if you feel so inclined. That would really help me out, especially as a smaller content creator. And if you are unsure about what to comment below, tell me about your fall plans. What are we doing? I've got spooky season on the mind, so like, where are we shopping? Where are we getting our fall stuff? What specific stores collections are you excited about? Personally, I'm going to go ham at Michael's in like a month. We'll see. Hopefully like the spirit Halloween comes around. I love Halloween. And I love when stores come out with Halloween collections that are girly pop. Like, I loved the Michaels collection, I want to say like a year or two ago. I still have stuff from it that was like, it was like a Scooby-Doo kind of pink flowery, because I love all things dark and spooky, but I also have like a little bit of a girly pop side. So like a side of me that's like dark and horror and goth and gloomy, but then there's also like a side of me that's like pink and sparkly and rainbowy, and those sides tend to coincide a lot of times. Like my favorite color combination, my two favorite colors are black and pink, so like that sums me up as a person. So like I love both. Anyway, comment down below. Do you agree with me, disagree with me? What elements of horror and Halloween do you like? And what's your style? Like, do you like more like slasher? I'm a slasher horror girly. If you'd like to see how I got this look, please keep watching. Okay, besties, so I'm going to take my Jessica Hayes Mob Beauty Trad Goth palette. This is the shade Blanc, because this is what I'm going to use for the white. So I am going to do that like forest highlight that I like to do. I did leave the paint pot unset just yet. I really want like a strong like white color in this look. And then, so I'm going to take it like up on my highlight, but I also am going to take it onto my lid. I am avoiding the crease, but with some of these like paler teal shades, I want to make sure that it has like a sticky base. So right now I'm just like laying down kind of where I want the colors to go, and then I'll blend them later. So I'm going to take my Colourpop Aura and Out palette. This is no longer available, but, and if you want to follow the tutorial, just use like similar shades that you have. First, I'm going to take this shade called Vibes. It's this like beautiful like pale blue up here. I am going to build that up into like a teal later, but I am just taking that on a brush that looks like this. This is from the Urban Decay, and then the logo's rubbed off, so it's one of the Urban Decay palettes. That's okay. And I'm going to pop that like into the crease, because I do want most of the teal to be concentrated like in the crease. In the crease and like up into the brow, but mostly just like in this area. So just like that. Now I'm going to take from the same Aura and Out palette, I'm going to take the shade called New Age. It's just like a more greeny kind of teal. Most of these are shimmery, but I don't mind. So I'm just going to take that on the other side of that same brush. And excuse my chair, I got her for next to nothing on Face of Marketplace. I feel like it just brings more of like a greeny kind of element. My goal is to like build up these colors. I want to start off light and then just kind of build them up to the intensity that I want them. So it's just going in there like that. It brings kind of more of like a green tone. I'm going to take my Colourpop. This is the Nook Inc palette. This is from a few years ago. It's not available anymore. I'm sorry. But I'm going to take this shade called Yes Yes. Kind of similar. It's just probably a little bit more pigmented than that one from the Aura and Out palette. And I'm just going to pop that into the crease as well. I feel like it's a little bit more pigmented than that other one. So just very lightly kind of tapping, because I want it to match this. So we're getting there, besties. So now that I've got the tone that I want, I am going to deepen it up a little bit more. I'm going to take my OG Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, because tell me this tone doesn't look like this one. I mean, it's like dead on. So I'm going to take that on the other end of that brush that I was using. So this is more of like a stiff, like pointy crease brush. And this shade is called Pool Party from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. And I'm going to tap most of that off. I'm going to do like a wash of this in the crease. So just like that. See, like it kind of brings in that more like bluey, tealy tone. This is like the perfect teal to match my shirt. And I want to always double check that because I have kind of hooded eyes. My eyes are like two slightly different shapes. So like this eye is a little bit less hooded than this one. So I always just like to kind of like relax my eyes and make sure that you can still see the shadow, because what the heck's the point of putting on this shadow in if you can't see it? So yeah, but just like that. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this on that same brush, just kind of on like a more flat side, just in like the inner, or I'm sorry, the outer corner. Okay, besties, that's what we're looking like. I want to go ahead and just reinforce the white before I go in with some red that I want to go in with. So I'm just taking that same blanc shade from the Trad Goth palette. Sorry, I took a quick break to go pet a dog. Worth it. So I just want to do that. So it just kind of reinforces it, because sometimes when you're working with other shadows, some of the shadows tend to get muddy. So yeah, I'm just going to do that on both sides so that the white is reinforced. Now, this is kind of going to be a hear me out moment and like a trust the process moment, but I'm going to take the Courtney Grungecore palette. We're going to take the shade, this is the M169. This is the red cream shadow from the palette. It just looks like that. I'm going to try it on a brush that looks like this. This is from when e.l.f. was literally $1. It was like their flat liner brush. And I want to put that like all around my eye where the white will still peek out. So I'm trying to do like elements of like the red and the white. So I'm just taking like a little bit of that. We'll see how this looks. I really want like kind of a thin line where like the white still peeks out. So we're going to try. And if it doesn't work, I have another liner brush. We're going to just like that. I'm gonna get it kind of thin at first, and then I can always build it up. And just like a little hint of red all around the eye. This is working quite well, I think. And I will wing this, but I prefer, if I'm gonna do a wing, to kind of do that like after all my makeup's done. I'm gonna try a different brush because this is fine, but because it's so old, some of the hairs are kind of like frayed. Y'all can see, yeah, it's a little frayed. So just to get a little bit more precise, I'm gonna take, this one is from Crown Brushes. It's the C514. And just so I can kind of get in the inner corner, so I'm just going to take that. We're just going to see how this works. I just haven't used this brush with this cream clay shade or any of the cream clay shades, I don't think. So I just want to use this to get more precise into the tear duct. So you can see it's going on a little bit more pigmented than with the e.l.f. brush. So sometimes I just wanted like to make sure that I could get that thin of a line. So that's exactly what I wanted to look like. And this brush is pretty small, so it's good for like precision work. Because I don't want it to be like thick red line. I just want, because I am going to go in with the red on the lower. But I just want to lay down that shadow. So yeah, that's exactly what I wanted that to look like. To set that, I'm going to take the same red shade, the powder shadow from the Grungecore palette. This is M167. I'm just taking that on that same e.l.f. brush that we used before. Because yeah, this is just going to really help to set it into place. So just on top, exactly where I put that other shadow. I like that this has a little bit of shimmer in it. It's got like a beautiful like pinky shimmer. Courtney and Morphe really did their thing with this shadow. You can see it better. See, like it's definitely got like a pinky shimmer. So I don't know. I think it's really cool. Just endlessly, I will always sing Morphe and Courtney's praises because they make some really cool shades. So yeah, just like on top. Now I did prime my lower lash line with my Painterly Paint Pot. Now I'm going to take that same cream clay shade. This is M169 from the Grungecore palette. And I'm just taking it on a brush that looks like this. And I'm going to put that in my waterline and kind of smudge it into the lash line. So just like that. I will be setting this eyeshadow on my waterline because that's going to ensure the maximum amount of staying power. So I'm just getting that down. With a cream shade being on your waterline, it definitely is going to fade because if you're like me, your eyes water. So before I set the red shade, I'm going to take some of that teal. I'm just going to take like what's left over on my pointed brush and just kind of like smoke that out. Just like that, just so like there's a little bit of consistency. Just like that. I don't know. I think that looks kind of cool. All right. So just like that, we're kind of blending that into the red. So the red's going to be mostly concentrated in the waterline, but I am kind of blending these shades into each other. I do want it to look like cohesive. I am adoring it. So for the red, I don't want to put a shimmer in my waterline because I feel like that would irritate it. I don't know. I just have a feeling. So I'm going to take a shade from my Kara Beauty, like Totally Palette. I don't believe that this is available anymore, but this has got like a bunch of pinks and reds. So I'm just trying to find one that will kind of match. I think I'm going to start off with the Bad Girl Behavior down there. So you can see it's like an orangey tone red. And I'm taking it on a brush that looks like that. It's just like an angled brush. I'm going for about my smallest brush that I have because I'm literally just going to put it on my waterline. So I'm just going to pop that on there. Wow. I haven't done a red waterline in a minute. I don't think I've ever done a tutorial using a red waterline. Feel free to call me out if I'm incorrect. Of course, my eye is starting to water. But yeah, I really like how that looks and that kind of the gradient that's happening. But I do want the red to be the most concentrated on like my upper and my waterline. Okay, besties, this is what we're looking like thus far. As a final touch to the eye, before I go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup, I'm going to take my Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome Highlighter. This is what this looks like. It is gorgeous. On camera, it's looking like mostly gold, but to me, I see some like green. I take this literally on my ring finger, and I'm going to go for that Blanc shade. I wanted to have the liner set before I went over this because if I hadn't set my liner, it would have like grabbed, this shade would have grabbed onto that red and almost acted like a shadow to set the red. So I'm literally just going to take it as like just a wash. It's just like a fun little detail that like when it catches the light is really cool. Like it really does go with the look. So I just wanted to kind of take that as like a little wash. I just feel like it adds like a cool little kind of shimmer. Okay, besties, that's what we're looking like. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face makeup and be right back. Besties, I have so much to tell you. Let's go from top to bottom as always. On my lashes, I have the Ioni. This is a different scent. This is the Wispy Natural Crisscross Cat Eye. That's what those look like on the model. So that's what those look like. I just really like these. Did have to go over this eye with a little bit more of that red. My eyes are two completely different shapes, so the lashes are going to sit a little bit differently. So I just had to go over it, but I really like it. For my bronzer, I used the Courtney Quarantine M170, which is from Grungecore. It's actually an eyeshadow, but it's such a nice like warm bronze that I used it as bronzer. For my highlighter, I used my Wet n Wild Chameleon Chrome Highlighter. I just thought it went really well. And I used that on my inner corner as well. My lip combo was a journey. I had a different one, but started off thinking I was going to use Deadly Nightshade from Necromancy Cosmetica, but I like this kind of black and gray kind of lip that I came up with. I felt like Deadly Nightshade was kind of competing with the blue that I had on my eyes because that one's like very blue. It's like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas blue. So I wanted something more blue tone as opposed to like straight blue, if that makes any sense. Anyway. So for the lip, I took my NYX Epic Wear eyeliner stick. I could not find my black lip liner that I have from NYX. I have from Unearthly, I have their Villain lip liner coming in the mail, so that won't be an issue, but I don't know where my black lip liner from NYX went. I have no idea. But I used the Epic Wear eyeliner stick on the lips and it worked fine. Then I took Courtney's M148 lipstick from Mahub. This came out in the Internet Grunge collection, I believe. It's just like a beautiful like wet concrete shade. It just looks like that. This comes off like pretty green on my skin tone. I think it's because I'm more neutral to olive. And then I took a little bit of Naked Witch from Necromancy Cosmetica on top. This is more of like a blue toned kind of gray neutral. So that's it next to the Courtney shade. You can see like it's definitely more like bluey purple tone, which is kind of what I was going for. And then I took Necromancy Osamenta, which is out right now. Let me wipe this off because it's got the lip combo on it. But it's like a beautiful like bone shade. And I just use this kind of to lighten up the lip. So that's the combo. On my upper lip for a highlight, I used my Glamlite Ghostface. I used the more champagne-y one down here with a knife. I just really like that on my upper lip. I'll wear these on my face, obviously. But as far as on top of, because I use my Colourpop Lunch Money Super Shock highlighter as like a base for my upper lip highlight. And then I put this on top so I can set it. And I love these two together. If you've made it to the end of this video, wow, you are amazing and I love you the most. Everything that I'm wearing on my face will be listed in the description box down below, as well as a link to my TikTok and my link tree. Thanks for watching, besties, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!